and welcome back to my craft room. It's a bit chilly in my neck of the woods today. I've got my fluffy jumper on and my fluffy socks. Far too mean to put the heating on. It's daytime. Come on. So it's time to move on to the next stage of my trash tome. So when I left you last, I'd finished cutting the Amazon brown grocery bags down into sizable, manageable size pieces and cutting them into interesting shapes, folding them into pages and stitching them into 3 signatures. Then after I finished filming, I spent, it was a good 3 hours it took. I couldn't believe how long it took me. Thank goodness I had something interesting to watch. Yeah, I think I watched several episodes of iZombie on Netflix. Really got into that. So then I put the whole thing under a couple of heavy scrapbook albums actually overnight to flatten it all out once it was dry, and spent another 20 minutes cleaning up the mess I'd made. I've even got bits of gesso on my keyboard. It was everywhere. I would advocate, if you're going to do that this project, give yourself plenty of space, plenty of time, cover anything you care about, because it tends to just get everywhere. Well, it does when I use it anyway. Okay, enough waffling on. Let's get to the desk. I'll show you how the pages look in a minute. This is what I've got ready to play with today. I wanted to just, first of all, I'm just going to add some colour. If the urge takes me to do some patterns and stuff while I'm in there, I will, but I'm just going to add random colour at the moment and really enjoy it. And today, I just thought I'll go with whatever I'm feeling at the time. Today I thought I'm going to whip out a whole load of water reactive media and try out all the different ones that I've got here. These ones will all cover quite a big area quite quickly, I think. So let's have a look at what we got. I've got some really ancient gelatos. I had these back in my scrapbooking days when I started getting into mixed media backgrounds and things. So they're a little bit dried up. I think they should still work, hopefully. And if they don't, it's time to chuck them. So I've got those. I've got some Stabilo Woodies. Love these. Love those colours. Love that. They do all sorts of colours, but they're not the cheapest. So I just picked 3 I thought would work together. I love how they look. Lovely little chunky things. So I'll make you feel like a kid holding crayons. Okay, that's those. I've got these art crayons by, is this Marabou? Yeah, Marabou. Lovely soft buttery sticks. And you push them up and down like a lipstick. They go on they feel like lipstick to go on. I've got these. I've hardly used these. I can't even remember when and where I got them. I don't think they were a kit or a school box or anything. I don't think so anyway. They're made by Derwent, I believe. Yep, Derwent. They're called Aquatone. So I've got a nice little range of colours there. And you can see they're shaped kind of like you can sharpen them in a pencil sharpener. So I could get more detail with them. These are, now you know I love my Inktense pencils. These are Inktense blocks, again made by Derwent. You can see that these ones I've hardly used. I have got a better used box of them in a drawer somewhere as well, but I thought I'll try these since it looks like I've barely used them. Criminal! I'm a big, one of my mantras is, it's never a waste. The only way you can waste an art supply is by not using it, These are also, I've got obviously got a lot of Derwent here. These are Derwent art bars. Now I don't really know what the difference is between art bars and Inktense, so it'll be interesting to try them alongside each other. Payne's Gold, love a Payne's Grey. So I'm going to try those, and Neo Colour 2. So Neo Colour, there's Neocolour 1, which is a waxy water resistant crayon, and there's Neocolour 2, which is these, which are water soluble. So they're still waxy, they're like a wax kind of pastel stick, go on, you know, just like a wax crayon, but once you activate them with water, the colour gets more vibrant and they become permanent then. And another thing that's quite fun is to activate them instead of with water, you can activate them with gesso or white paint or something, and you get like a pastel-y version, which is quite nice. Okay, so let's have a look before I get stuck in here. I don't mind bothering to organise this because it'll soon become a complete shambles. Let's have a look at how they turned out. You can see how, you know, they've gone nice and flat. I can't believe now that this was that huge pile of paper bags that I had, and I didn't throw a massive amount away either. It just seems to have really condensed and flattened down. So this is how they've ended up. See all my little holes. I wanted all my peaky holes, and I might even end up cutting more peaky holes yet. So yeah, I've got to remember to cover all of these surfaces. One thing that's difficult is that while you're waiting for one page to dry, you can't really turn over and start on another page. But I have got the 3 separate books, so, and I have got a hairdryer. I managed to get them to not stick together too much. Where they've stuck together a bit and done that, that's okay, that'll add to it. Oh, now I did have that one folded in. I went through, after I'd left it flat all night, I went back through and kind of made the folds again and reinforced them. Peeled away a few bits that were stuck together. That's okay. It still feels a little bit cool. It's probably very, very slightly damp still, but not to the point that it's sticking together. In some places I just scribbled with the end of a paintbrush or whatever I was using. Yeah, paintbrush, this one. Just scribbled some lines in the gesso, so that will make a nice effect when I paint over it. You can see I've got bits of the labels and stuff here, that doesn't matter. All adds to the interest. So that's the end of the first signature. So I can paint, I will probably open out and paint a couple of, you know, an open page, you know, 2 pages at once. Put that aside to dry and work on the next signature. Some squiggles, my tentacles. I'm glad I left a few just sort of ordinary pages like this. I think it just sets everything else off. You can see where I've been painting this side. This has got an extra little coat, so the star is kind of, there's a kind of ghost of a star shape there. And then once I've got all different colours in here, all setting each other off, all kind of bouncing off each other, I'm hoping it's going to look really cool. And one of my favourite things is the peeking through, the holes peeking through. So that's the second signature. It's quite good to go through like this and just make sure definitely nothing has welded itself shut or anything. There's the toilet seat. Wasn't meant to be a toilet seat. Another thing I will be doing is adding little, probably just stapling on little extra pieces. I might use pattern paper scraps that I've got, probably stick in old envelopes, things like that to use as little tuck spots and things, and I want to do a couple of kind of interactive, kind of almost like pop-up bits and pieces, which I always like to do. Just simple pop-up things. I'll show you them as we go along. There are some like pop-up mechanisms you can do that are really straightforward, but they're lots of fun to interact with. There we go. Prickly toilet seat. Okay, so let's get started. Very exciting. Another thing I would advocate is make sure you've already set out a drying spot. Having said that, I'm completely ignoring myself and not setting up anything at all at the moment, but you know, do as I suggest, not as I do. So rather than just start on the front page, I'm going to open this right out so we can do 2 pages at a time. I want to have, again, once I've got all of this colour on, then I can add pattern, I can draw it or paint it or stencil it or stamp it, and then probably paint pens are going to be my final touch, and I'll do like black and white stripes around some of the shapes and just black outlines around some of the shapes. Oh, I will really enjoy every stage of this. Now this part, all this gessoing got very tedious, I have to say, but I really think it's worth it because they're all going to, colours will look so much more vibrant now, and it's just giving the paper a bit more, well, it's not all crackly and noisy for a start while I'm filming, which is an unexpected bonus. Okay, so this time really all I can do with this time is this heart. I'm not going to do the obvious and make it a pink or whatever, or red. Now which type of supply shall we try first? Let's do some yellow colour too. I love these. These are made by Caron Dash. What colour? I'm going to pick these two, and I'm just going to scribble them on and enjoy myself like a little kid. Oh. So you can mix these. You can blend it over the top of each other, or you can blend them together while they're wet. They blend beautifully, and the colours are lovely anyway, but they're even more, I love how the texture of the brush strokes and the gesso's coming out, but they're even more once you get some water on them. I'm going straight in with my finger. I've got a brush here, come on, let's at least start a bit a bit sensible. Oh, look at that colour. Now I don't need to cover every single bit with the crayon. I can blend it out like this. Oh, I'm just no good. I'm going to have to. And of course the intention is that once I finish creating this trash tome, it will become a home for my Frankenstein dolls. Oh, look at that, that's quite interesting. You see, with gesso, the other thing about it is that any of these, especially these kind of water reactive things, they're going to behave so much better on a gessoed surface rather than that brown paper, because that's not kind of paper that's designed for these sort of things really. That's another thing you can do, you can get them wet as they go on. So yeah. How vibrant that is. And I could take, if I wanted to, I could get some stamping things and just take the colour off again with them, but just kind of want to, yeah. This is one of the things that Dolores sent me in my package. I'm just wondering if I can get spots with it. Fun, isn't it? Yeah, I'm just playing like a kid already, having a lovely time. I'm going to move that to one side because that's enough on that for now. And you've got to look at this, is like with any sort of mixed media project, which is what this is really. You've just got to look at each stage is just a layer in the process, so trust the process. If you're not happy with it yet, that's fine, it just means it's not finished. And in the next stage we'll add a bit more to it until we are happy with it. Let's try something different. I'm going to use Marabou art crayons, and I'm going to try graduating from, I think that's what's going to work. I don't want to mix the purple and yellow together because that'll probably go a bit poopy. The pink and the yellow and the pink and the purple will go together, so I'm going to start with the yellow at the top and work down towards the purple. So these are great because you just turn up a bit like you do with the lipstick, scribble away. Oh, it just feels like you're drawing with your mum's lipstick. Dolores, you will relate to this. At least I'm not doing it on a chair though. You don't need to cover the whole thing because once you activate it, that will happen anyway. Then we're going to the pink because that will mix nicely with the yellow and probably get an interesting orange. It's one of the reasons I picked these kind of products, because to start myself off with, because it is like being a kid and holding a crayon. It really is. I don't want too much purple because I can find the purple a bit overwhelming, so I'm just going to put a little bit of that at the bottom. Totally looks like a like a kid's done it with a colouring crayon, eh? So I'm going to start with this lighter colour first. Oh, look at that. Now Zoe, if you're watching, you won't like this because I know you don't like yellow. But I love yellow. I just think it's a sunshine colour. And I'm going to love how it mixes with this, I think. Okay, let's try. I'm going to try using this sort of almost dry. Oh, look at that. Oh no, I said I wasn't going to. Well, I think I said I might end up introducing some pattern. I'll see how I feel as I go along. I already can't resist, because while those are wet, it's quite fun to scribble into them. Don't want to get this too wet because of the drying time. Now, what I probably should be doing is putting some paper underneath. I'm not going to get too precious about this, but I don't want to end up muddying something that's underneath, so let's try and get into the habit of putting a bit of paper under it. Oh, I'm having a lovely time. Now I probably will stop chatting away and just put this on fast forward, because although I'm having a lovely time, it could get quite boring sitting there listening to me waffling away. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh look, the light's shining off it a little bit too much, so it doesn't really look as good in the camera as it does in real life. Let's have a bit of drippage as well. Oh, I wish the camera really is not doing this justice. Okay, right, I'm going to put that to one side, put that over here. Oh no, hang on, I've got the facing page to do, haven't I? Should we try different? Should we see how the gelato yellow compares? Considering I haven't used these for ages and I thought it might be a bit dried up, they're going on really nice and smoothly. I feel like a bit of bright green here now. Let's go into, and that will contrast with that purple, won't it? I like how the sort of brush marks in the gesso are coming through here as well. Oh god, that's vibrant. Look at that. I think the gelato compares well. The gelato and the Marabou art crayons are very, very similar. This the neo colour too in the green there doesn't look as vibrant as I'd like. Oh, I love colours. I always hate to be asked what's your favourite colour. I have colour combinations that are favourites, and I have colour combinations I can't bear to look at. Maroon and orange together actually makes me feel physically sick. The kind of magenta colour and orange, lovely. I wish it looked as vibrant on camera as it does in real life. I'm just wondering, because I've got this one as well, this Aqua Tome one. I'm just wondering. I'm just going to scribble on that and just leave it scribbly. And then when I come to add little details later on in the next stage, I can add little tiny pops of the green over here against the purple, and little tiny pops of perhaps the bright pink over. I think what I'll do is keep filming until I've tried each product at least once. And then I'll go quiet and speed through. Let's have something a bit more subtle this time. Let's try out one of these woodies. I've got this very soft pink colour. Maybe I'll go the soft pink and work down towards the blue. See how they mix together. I don't know how well they'll blend. Now this feels, they don't feel as soft and kind of buttery as the as the Marabou crayons or the gelatos did, but they're a lot softer than, you know, a coloured pencil would be. I know they kind of have the look of a coloured pencil, but they're a lot softer. They're not kind of blending out as well. They've definitely still got scribble marks. Well, they will, if I work a bit harder, they will. It depends on what you want them for, I guess, doesn't it? I think for adding a lot of colour quickly, I don't think they beat the gelatos or the art crayons at the moment. I'm not going to go all the way down, I'm just going to put it up to here. And a lot of the kind of pens and things that I like to use over the top of these sort of things afterwards. They don't like going over anything that's a little bit waxy, but once you've activated these things with water and let it dry, as long as you let it dry completely, then they the pens will go over them. Now those are mixing together into a kind of a purplish colour, but it's not particularly appealing to me. I'm going to add a bit of a brighter pink. I don't really do subtle, do I? I'm not even sure if I like that. Well, we'll leave it for now. But I think I'm going to go with these more vibrant colours. It's probably just the mood I'm in. I might find later on I feel differently. You know, if I do this on a different day, I might go all subtle. I don't know. Make a trash tome along with me. Please do share it in the Arty Farty Annie group on Facebook, because I would love to see it, and I know all the other people there would as well. I've been really enjoying seeing the group starting to grow, and everybody's been all inspired and supportive of each other. It's really nice to see. It makes my day. I see somebody doing something that's been inspired by one of my videos. It also makes my day when somebody shares something that makes me think, oh, I must have a go at that. There we go. So that's those. I don't know how much I like that at the moment, but it will do. It's a bit annoying that everything is just looking a tad turned down on the camera compared to how it looks in real life. Okay, let's try some of these other products I haven't tried yet. Let's go for the Derwent art bars. Something you don't see them kind of talked about as much as like Neo Colour 2, but I think they kind of do the same thing if I can remember. Let's have a bit of this magenta down the bottom. So these feel they have more of a almost, well, not chalky, they're still waxy, but they're not soft and lipsticky like those others. They feel very similar to the Neo Colour 2 to go on. Let's try a brush this time. I might get a sponge in a minute as well. I think I could sort of scrub a little bit with that. So you can imagine if you were doing this, instead of doing this with water, if you were doing it with more gesso, you'd get like a real pastel-y kind of version of the colour. Or you could do it with white acrylic paint as well. Let's just go with this. And of course, like I said, I don't need to cover every bit of every page with colour. So with some of them I'll just do some areas will be coloured, and then I'll leave bits in the middle just open, or I don't know, whatever takes my fancy. I am just going to let myself play. the Derwent ink tints. So you can use these just direct with, you know, you can hold the bar and just use them like almost like a watercolour block, or I think you can just draw on as well. You can see I've barely used these. Criminal. That brush is too small, but I could equally well, I'll do it with one of the other colours in a minute. If I wanted to take colour direct from this, I would literally use it like, and you can spatter off as well with it. Like that. And like the Inktense pencils, they're just so vibrant. You get more and more vibrant once you activate them with water. So I think I have tried a little bit of each of these products now. I've done a bit in each of the signatures and I've used a little bit of each of the products. I'm going to go into silent mode now, play you a bit of music if I remember to put it on this time, and I'm just going to hopefully these will dry quite quickly, so I can, as soon as I'm finished with one, I can with one signature I can go back to the first one. So yeah, and then once I've got a layer of colour on all of the pages, I'll let it all dry overnight again, keep it flat, and then I'll be into stage 3. I'll see you at the end for a quick flick through of the colours. Hello, so it's the next day. I finished adding colour to all of the pages last night. It was quite a long evening. I've watched through 2 seasons of I Vampire now. I'll have to find something else to get hooked on soon. So I'm just going to show you where I'm at. All of these have got their first kind of layer of colour. So this is the 3 signatures I've piled up all together. I left them here flat overnight. So the next thing I'm going to do is start adding some just black outlines to make everything pop a bit. Then the next stage will be some stamping and stenciling and things with acrylic paints, and finally I will go in with paint pens probably, and add some of my pops of black and white and things like that, little marks and stuff. But that'll be for next time. This time I'm gonna just start making these outlines. I will pop a piece of paper underneath and just run. I've got a Faber-Castell Pitt pen. These are brilliant. They'll go over, as long as it's fully dry and everything, they'll go over acrylic paints and all kinds of other stuff. They don't really like waxy things too much, but now that I've activated all of these, they should be fine. This one is a brush pen and it's a little bit gnarly already, so I don't mind using it along the edges here, because you know it might be a bit, you know, I wouldn't use a brand new lovely pen on this because I wouldn't want to ruin it, but I think it'll be okay. And I just want to just give it a little pop of black here and there. I tell you what, my Frankenstein dolls that I'm going to make to go in this book in the end are going to have to be really bright and colourful to compete with with the backgrounds, aren't they? So first of all, I'm just going to whip it through and just quickly show you how the pages turned out. So I'll probably speed this up. There we go, that's all of those colours added. I had such a lovely time playing with all those water reactive supplies. Really enjoyed them. It's such a quick and fun, easy way of adding a lot of colour really quickly. So yeah, now I'm just going to go through all of the edges. This is going to take me quite a long time to do, and I'm just going to add a line. I'm just going to go around it like that. So some of them will just be little thin lines like that, and they'll stay that. That's all I'm going to do for now. But some eventually would be much thicker lines, and some will become kind of black and white striped frames. But at the moment, all I'm going to do is for each edge all the way through, I'm going to add that black line, so it just sort of pops against the background like that. So I'm not going to make you sit and watch me do that. I will maybe add another a couple of photos at the end of this stage, and then next time we'll be on to the next bit, adding some little details, some stamping and stenciling and splashing and dripping and things like that, some little scribbly different kinds of marks and things like that. And then finally it'll be get in with the dolls. Well, no, that won't be finally, because after the dolls are in there, I'll go back in with paint pens again and add more details. So this is going to be a sort of several stage process, but I think just take one bit at a time. So let me know what you think so far. Is anybody else out there having a go? Like I said before, you could do a mini version of this, or you could just do a couple of pages in an art journal using the same kind of ideas. I'll just wait and join it. Wait till I get to the doll part and join in then. Yeah, but let me know what you think, and if you do some, I'd love to see them in the Arty Farty Annie group on Facebook. I'll try and remember to leave a link to it here, because it's always such a thrill to see if I've done something on a video and it's inspired people to have a go and put their own spin on it. I always love to see that. I will also link to Dolores' channel. I don't know if she's got started on hers yet. I need to go and check her channel now. I've been out all day, see if she's got started on her dolly journal yet. I think what Dolores is doing is taking an existing like a composition book or something she's got, and she's going to add edges to the pages. So yeah, that's another way you could do it. If this is all a bit too daunting, you could just take an existing book or art journal, sketchbook or whatever, and just, you know, cut in some fancy edges and add some colour and you know, use those templates that I showed you. You'll find Dolores will be providing links to those, and just add them into the existing pages. So yeah, I hope some of you will have a go at this. I'll be fascinated to see other people's spin on things, because it, you know, each person will take the same idea and even the same supplies and it will come up completely different, and that's what makes it so much fun. Anyway, that's all from me today. Here's my oops. Here's where I am so far. I'll see you in a couple of days with the next instalment. Thanks very much for joining. Thanks very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.